What's up, everyone? Hello, hold on. Let me clean this off. All right, maybe that's better. All right, so hello, everyone. I got a lot to talk about today. Um, I got my phone here, and I've been kind of obviously watching Tesla, and I was talking to Hobo a couple days ago in DM, and we were talking about this level that Tesla is up against rather. And yeah, she's hit that 265 mark today, which also, and I'm looking at my phone here. What's up, Bernard? How are you, my friend? I'm watching Tesla. I'm going to start off talking about that. So, if you follow the charts at all, the last big high that Tesla had was right here at 265. And we hit it today. So what does that mean? Are we going to drop from there? Or are we going to form a higher high here on Tesla? And boy, if we do, that's going to be good. Because that's obviously bullish, right? If we're forming a higher high on the chart. So that is going to be fun. And I'm looking forward to that to see what happens with old Tesla. So, yeah, there's that. I'm doing well, Bernard. My account continues to rip. I'm gonna go through some of my positions here and some cost basis. Hey, how are you? Let's say together. I don't think I know you. Welcome in. I got to put on the old man reading glasses, the old man spectacles here. So, yeah, let's see where we're at here on Tesla or on my account. So we'll start here in alphabetical order. I got AMZ. Now it's trading close today, 2209. My cost basis, 2181. Okay, so I got the dividends. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I talk about scalping too, definitely. And I'll get more into that here in a little bit. But for AMZ, okay, 2209 is what she closed at. My trade price is 2181. That's my average price on AMZ. So what do I do with those dividends? I personally don't like to buy above my cost basis. So I use the profits, okay, from my dividends on positions I'm up in. And so I took AMZ dividends. What did we get paid? Yesterday? Yeah. We got paid yesterday. So I took those dividends and I put them in SQY. And I build that SQY position only from profits. Nothing ever comes out of pocket in my SQY position. Nothing ever. It's totally free. And I love that because no matter what happens to me, my wife doesn't have to worry about reinvesting or she knows that with SQY, she can pull the dividends anytime because we're building it out of profit only. No money out of pocket. And you know what, man? If these, I mean, my dollar store glasses definitely make me look smarter. And anything I can find to make me look smarter, I'm going to do because I obviously say a lot of dumb stuff, right? So if I look smarter, that helps. So, I mean, I'm not using margin or HELOC or credit card, nothing. I want to build my positions, these extra positions, totally free. So that's what I do. When I'm above my cost basis, I take the dividends and put them in a free position. So AMZ, totally free. Okay, let's talk about my Phoebe position. It closed today at 19.46. My cost basis on that is 19.35. So once again, I got another position where the dividends came in Monday. Yeah, Monday? Yeah. My wife is out of town. I'm losing track of days already. So yeah, that dividend, again, because it is profit, it's not out of pocket. I don't want to buy in above, I don't want to put dividends in above my cost basis. So this AMZ and this AMZ and Phoebe are a driving engine to my free position. So again, I took the dividends from Phoebe because it was in profit. What's up, happy camper? Good to see you. So I'm taking these dividends that are in profit, right? It's above my cost basis. No reason for me personally, to put them in to and average up my price. So I take these and build free positions for myself and my wife. So SQY, totally free, coming from dividends this week of AMZ and Phoebe. Now IWMY, check this one out. It closed today at 13.87. My average price on this bad boy, $15 on the nose. But I am up on dividends. So I can't do this particular program with IWMY because I have to keep reinvesting it. And I reached my share count in IWMY. I'm done adding my own money to it. So, yeah, I'm going to continue to put money in IWMY to boost, okay, to boost the ROI, right? I want that thing paid off as soon as possible. Let me see some of the comments. Happy camper is on vacation. Girl, you've been on vacation for a month. That's awesome. I will be going on vacation for like a month and a half myself. Today officially begins a month and a half, 2 months off for Christy and I. She went with her sister, my cousins, my son went with her, my 17-year-old son. And so there were like 10 people. We call it a girls' trip because my son Anthony is the only male. And they're all in Boston this whole week. She asked me, Mike, do you want to go? Last year they went to New York. Year before that, they went to Washington, D.C. They went to Chicago. They went to L.A. I don't go to the big cities. That's not for me. Not my cup of tea. I like my little Missouri town, and I'll stay here. Well, as far as that goes. So anyway, they're all in Boston. So it's just me in this house alone. I have to keep care of Christie's 500 million plants on. We have a wraparound deck, anyone familiar with like the South or the Midwest, wraparound decks are a thing, right? So all her plants outside in the wraparound deck, all these plants behind me, and the greenhouse, and all of them in the living room. And we have a fish tank room where we keep most of our fish tanks. And so I got to keep all of our plants. Yeah. Empty house, bro. All my kids are old. They're grown. They're gone. A couple of them, I think, are going to come over for dinner tonight. So I am barbecuing pork chops. Rod is sending people here. That's awesome. So I should probably continue to talk about ETFs and not how I'm alone and probably drink one too many beers tonight. Maybe have a cigar or two. Okay, anyway. So I talked about IWMY, Phoebe, and AMZ. Nvidia. I made a video yesterday. Nvidia yesterday, when dividends came out, was 10 cents below my cost basis. I got a bunch of dividends from Nvidia. I got a whole bunch of shares. I didn't know what to do with the dividends because there's only 10 cents off my cost basis. So today, Nvidia closed at 28.62, boys and girls. And my price on that is 28.22. So today, Nvidia is above my cost basis. If I was retired, I could pull them and live off of them. I could pull the AMZ, could pull the Phoebe, but since I'm not retired, I am funneling profit into free position. So today, I am still holding my Nvidia position in cash because it's like so close to my cost basis above it. So all white. Okay, why do I use SQY? I'm going to tell you why I use SQY. Totally a personal reason. I own a food business, okay? And we use Square. And it's a fantastic product. Guys, Square is brilliant and amazing. It's a great product for us people in the food industry, okay? But they take a percentage out of every debit sale. And I've used them now for 8 years. 8 years. And they take a percentage out. So I figured, you know what? Let me get some of that back courtesy of Yield Max, right? So that's the only reason I'm in SQY is to recoup some of this money for free because I'm building the position out of profits, right? So I'm building the position out of profits and I want to recoup money from Yield Max doing calls on Square or Block, whatever. So yeah, SQY, totally a personal reason. I'm saying I don't really follow the stock, the underlying at all. That's the only reason I'm an SQY. And it paid nice dividends. So it was like, yeah, I'm going to get some of this money back. Y'all been taking out of my credit card sales all these years. That's why. Totally personal reason for SQY. But my next positions I'm building are defensive. And I want to talk about that in just a minute here. So now check this out. So Nvidia, above my cost basis currently. I could pull the dividends today. I mean, I have them in cash and keep building up my SQY position. But Nvidia could dip over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm holding those in cash, the Nvidia dividends, and I'll put it back in on a dip. If we don't get a dip, I'm just going to build SQY before the next X date or whatever. Check this out on YMAG. Close today, 21.69. My cost basis on that is 20.86. 20.86. Okay? So, again, when YMAG comes out with the dividends, I do not. Okay, it's at 21.69. I mean, maybe it'll fall to 20.86. I doubt it. And if it doesn't, the YMAG distributions that will be coming out will be free because it's above my cost basis. I will continue to build SQY until I get to the share count that I want for it. And I'm just going to leave it forever. As Jay said in a Retiring Dividends interview with them yesterday, how long does he plan on them going? Forever. Well, I mean, we know there's going to be multiple reverse splits, but yeah, that's what's going to happen. So that's wonderful. So the YMAG distributions going in to SQY for me to build it for free. And I kind of want to know why more people aren't doing this. I see a lot of people, they reinvest their dividends above their cost basis. And I get why you do it. You want more dividends. Okay. Why not build a position for free and get those dividends anyway? It doesn't matter what happens for me to SQY. This thing could drop like a freaking rock. I do not care. It's like somebody gave me 1,000 shares of SQY for free. Do I care? A whole bunch of shares of SQY dropped in my stocking around my fireplace, around the corner, on the mantle, right? That's what happened. They're free. They come from profit. So I have no idea why more people aren't doing this. And I think I see people reinvesting their dividends back into funds, putting their average cost higher. And I'm like, why? I know you want more dividends from said fund, but why not just start a new one for free? Yeah, the dividends might not be as much as whatever you choose, as much as Misty, Coney, Nvidia, but they're free. To me, that's massive value. That's massive value. Okay, so let's talk about WiMAX. Closed at 1988. My price on this is 2005. So that one is below my cost basis. So when WiMAX comes out, dividends, unless it jumps up super high, which I doubt, I'm going to have to reinvest those dividends. Why do I do that? To get my average price lower. So when it does go back up, it can turn into a machine, just like AMG, just like Phoebe, just like Nvidia, to build positions for free. Hey, Hog Farmer, my son met the newest Chiefs player today in New York Airport. I put a picture on my Discord server and I tagged you, Hog. So if you want to see that, you have to go see who that player is. They were hanging out at the airport together. They went to a restaurant together. My son and the newest Chiefs player hung out for like an hour. So, and they had a fun conversation. It was just him and my son. My wife didn't go. Just Anthony and the newest Chiefs player hung out. So yeah, and he said he was so cool and humble. It was like just talking to someone on a block, except with an accent. That gives it away. So yeah, I think investing your dividends that are above your cost basis into free funds will help you down the road and create positions absolutely for free. Now, in saying that, do I think yield max funds are maybe the best to do that with? I don't know. Because what we do know about yield max, as we've seen with Tesla, they will go down over time, particularly if the underlying drops. And they will go through reverse splits and your share count, all that stuff, right? So I'm going to form a defensive layer in my account, okay, for free, only from profits, okay? And so how that's going to happen, that'll be SPY T. Now I'm going to trade QQQT. Why? Because it's going to have more upside potential than SPY T, just due to the tech sector in general. And the way Jay, I learned so much from that interview with Rod, courtesy of the community, honestly, asking questions that I was wondering myself, but I didn't know I was wondering until people in the community asked them. And so I always wondered, why was QQQT dividend 20%, just like SPY T, when we know there's more IV, when we know there's more volatility in the NASDAQ, right? So why? Well, that's to catch more share price appreciation. So I will be trading QQQT when we get a dip, whenever that happens. And I'll buy in low, wait for it to go up, sell that position, get the dividends and the share price appreciation, and keep building up safer funds. So I'm going to build a defensive layer in my account for free because guys, I got a wife, I got 5 kids. And if something happens to me, I've tried to talk to Christy about this. Like if I died tomorrow, what are you going to do with this account, baby? You have to know how to manage this, okay? She has no interest. She has zero interest. She goes, Mike, I just want the dividends. Honey, can you just set it up where like they just come out and they just go into my account or something or whatever? That way I don't have to mess with your stocks. So I'm in an uphill battle with my wife, trying to learn her, as we say here in the Midwest, trying to learn her something. So I needed to form a defensive layer. Why do I call it my defensive layer? And check this. Defense wins championships unless Patrick Mahomes is on your team. Then who cares, right? But I digress. Um, Defense wins championships. The market will go down in time. Hopefully, I live a long time and I'll go through more corrections and down market years. SoCal Steve, I hope you joined because I want to compliment you on your video. And I have a counterpoint, which I've already given, kind of. But let me finish this thought. So I want to form this defensive layer. So when the markets do go down, the Jeppies, the Spy T, the I don't know, I Spy, Spy I, whatever the heck they're called. Those guys, right? Build up those so that way when the market goes down, yes, the NAV will go down with it. The share price will decrease with the market, yada, yada. But it will also go back up, right? These are catching better share price appreciation than the majority of yield max funds. So that's my defensive layer that I'm going to build for Christy, absolutely free. Okay, Steve-O. Steve, if no one has, look at SoCal Steve. He's got a YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, guys, you're missing out. I'm telling you. SoCal Steve probably does the best presentations. No, it's the guy's aura. I don't know. The way he looks at me longingly with those eyes while he's doing a video, like he's speaking directly to my heart. I don't freaking know how Steve-O does it. I love retiring dividends. Great stuff. Love Kamir. Love all these guys, right? But Steve-O has this thing about him. And he's really good in front of the camera. Supernatural, right? He's not like me babbling and stumbling around. He's very natural. So he made a video. It may have been yesterday, day before. I don't know, boys. The wife's out of town. Days are flying by, right? So anyway, he did a video about should you reinvest your dividends. That's not the title of it, but that was the premise of the video. And like the first 2 minutes of it, he's like, if you already know how to do this or whatever, this video ain't for you. So I'm almost like, Steve-O, I'm an expert, baby. I almost clicked off, but I did not. I want to support my man, watch his videos, watch the commercials, let him go all the way through. When a commercial came up, I just go get something to drink or whatever, and then come back and watch my boy Steve-O, right? So he was talking about the power of reinvesting in dividends, even above your cost basis. And I was screaming at my computer. I'm like, Steve-O, look here. I don't know if that's the best way. And I get where he's coming from with this because it's math and it's real and it's a tangible thing, right? That you keep reinvesting your dividends even above your cost basis, that you're going to make more dividends as time goes on. And the market will dip up, whatever, right? Keep reinvesting. But I'm like, Steve, bro, why not put it into a free fund and build the position from profits instead of reinvesting above your cost basis? And let these things that are below your cost basis, right, continue to be an engine that feeds free positions. So that's my counterpoint, Steve-O. What do you think about that? I'm so glad you watched because I was going to make this live stream and talk about your video. So I'm glad you're here. So that's kind of my counterpoint to that. Not that he was giving anyone advice or anything like that. It's just that he was showing the power of compounding, right? And I just thought maybe there's a different way to do it. So that's my counterpoint to it, is that. Delicious water. I got to make sure I hydrate tonight. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, that's kind of like my my thoughts on Steve-O's video and me building defensive funds for free. And I already went over my account. Now, I talked about Tesla at the beginning. Hold up. They're making me log back in here. Hold up. So let me talk about Tesla if you were not here at the beginning. Okay. Been watching the Tesla chart with fervor passion. Okay, what fund is the GOAT out of YieldMax? Nvidia. And let me tell you why Nvidia's a GOAT. Not just because Steve-O said it in a video. We're going to talk a longer term thing here. I don't know much about Bitcoin, crypto, whatever. I don't know much about that stuff. But what I do know is it goes through massive cycles of going up and then dropping horrendously, right? And staying in crypto winter, the dreaded, the much maligned, the much talked about crypto winter. They all go through it, right? Is that not a real thing? So when those things go through crypto winter, what's going to happen to Misty, to Coney, to what's that other friggin' Wybit? What's going to happen to those things, right? They're going to follow the crypto winter and they're going to live in dormancy and they're continue to drop. They'll probably reverse split a lot because what's that crypto winter last? Like 2 years? Something crazy? This is why Nvidia is a GOAT, because there's no such thing that I've ever heard of Nvidia winter. Never heard of it. Maybe it's out there and it just hasn't come across my screen. Crypto winter, Nvidia winter. No such thing as Nvidia winter. Plus, they continue to make product. People are buying it. I saw something today, like someone just ordered a butt ton more chips, right? So Nvidia continues to sell product, will continue to sell product. So I think Nvidia is the GOAT and will be the GOAT for quite some time. And that's why I think Nvidia is greater long term versus Misty and Coney, because there's no Nvidia winter. No such thing. Unless one develops and whatever, unless I just jinxed all of us, right? Yeah, ROI. Hog farmer ROI is so important to us that are trying to retire, right? Like, that is such an important metric before I get on with the charts. That's why I'm capping shares. When I get to a share count that I like, whatever I'm comfortable with, and it's different for different funds, like my YMAX, I'm capped out. With the money, I want to come with out of pocket. YMAX is done for my own money. Now it's going to be working the return on investment gain. So there's that. So I have a cap on everything. My IWMY, I have a grasshopper in here who came in last night, and I cannot find this man. And you may hear this grasshopper in one of these plants of Christie's. He likes the live stream, apparently. So, yeah, he's been quiet all day. Now that the live stream's on, he's rubbing his little cricket leg. So, man, Steve-O never would have lost his train of thought. I will say that. Okay, return on investment. So I'm capping my shares or my ETFs at shares so they can start working on their return on investment immediately. So YMAX is done. IWMY is done. Nvidia, we're not done with Nvidia. I got a whole fall to go through. Nvidia will be a very large position for me when I'm done with it. YMAG also, I don't have a share count yet that I want to put there. I'm going to continue building that one, continue building Phoebe, and AMZ. Why, Phoebe? Because I think Meta has a very bright future. People don't like Facebook. What I don't. I think Meta as a company has a lot of growth ahead of it. So I am trying to time it a little bit here. So that's why I'm building Phoebe. That's my reason for building Phoebe. Nothing to do with Facebook. Um, let's do some. I haven't looked at the comments. Besides, was the fun? Yeah. Okay. The wife has 100 expense. Yeah, percent expense ratio. Bro, she's in Boston. Yes, but I don't even want to know what she's buying there, man. I told her I don't want to even know. Just have a good time. When we go down to Beaver Lake here in a couple of weeks, I can kind of monitor her spending. And then it's just going to be her and I when we go down to Fort Morgan / Gulf, Alabama for a week, 2 or 3, whatever. We decide, however long we decide to stay down there. Very important for us to get refreshed before our fall season. Fall season for the food business, well, for us, is massive. We have high school football at 4 different high schools. We have city parks where there's youth football, fall ball, baseball, fall ball, softball, soccer. We have a bunch of festivals that are in the fall that my kids do. We have a bunch of concerts coming in town that my kids will do. They run the mobile side of our company. So we're all going to relax, get away from the company. We call it Dead Month. We do this every year. Because what happens is there's tryouts for all the traveling teams, no matter what sport. This time of year, no one's playing tournaments. They're all trying out for different teams, and coaches are poaching players. I'm a former coach high school, now also coach club ball. I am a master sniper, scalper. I would poach kids like there was no tomorrow. It's awesome. So we get a month and a half off, no business whatsoever. So it's great. We take this time to refresh. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I don't think I'll be doing too many videos on vacation. Maybe. I don't know. Who cares? So not me. So yeah, that's kind of my talk today. Does anyone want to talk to me about anything in particular before I get off here today? I talked about, if you're new or just joining in, talked about how I favor personally building free positions when things are above my cost basis rather than reinvesting them, building funds for free. I talked about what I think is the importance of building defensive funds for an eventual, which will happen, eventual market correction or down year 2 or 3. The importance of building those funds now while the market is high and hot. You don't want to build them, like no cash or the market's dumping and you're freaking out and your emotions get the best of you and you don't want to start building positions. Build those defensive positions now. Okay? Start building defensive positions now. Get your defense in order before the market corrects on you, right? Before you look at your account every day on your phone and it's red every day and your emotions tell you, don't buy any new funds. Build them now while the market's hot, right? Take advantage of the market running. And if you're doing options, guys, if you're doing cover calls, if you're doing cash secure puts, if you day trade like me or long swing trade or scalp, take the profits now. Use them while the market's hot and build positions with free money because the market ain't going to be hot forever, boys. So take advantage of it. Like, really, do it. This is how you weather downturns and cycles in the market. Buy when it's going down, right? By building positions while building cash and building positions while the market is hot. That's how you weather, because I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I can't tell you when. If I knew that, I'd be a billionaire. We just know it's going to happen. It's inevitable that the market will correct, go down for a year, 2 or 3. So take advantage now. Okay. I can't. Old Coach Mike cannot stress getting your defense in order now while the getting is good. Um, Retire almost said his name. Retire and Dividend said, what is your overall goal as yield? Man, realistically, it's probably going to be in that 40-ish percent range, which I think is great. I don't know. It depends how much I add to my defensive sector, right? I mean, because if I buy things like SPY T, JEPI, JEPQ, SPY, whatever, all those types of things, that's obviously going to lower my percentage, right? So I think anywhere from 25 to 40, I think, is what I'm aiming for. 40 is probably unrealistic, honestly. So I think I'll fall in, let's just say 20 to 30. I think that's fair. When it's all said and done, when I'm done building it and letting the account run on its own, I'll probably be in that position, I think. Depends how many defensive funds I add, right? Right now, that thing's like at 62% last time I looked, which is pretty high, which is fine because I'm building, right? But once I really start hammering home those defensive positions, it's going to drop it. And I think it's important. Like, guys, here's the deal. Our whole living thing is going to be based off dividend funds, right? We will be living off dividends when I retire. So the problem of having such a high, like I'm having now, like 60, 65%, whatever it's at now, that's unsustainable. It's only up that high because the market's running high, the dividends are high, things like that, right? So that number will fall off, I imagine, in time. I don't see Nvidia paying $2 a share forever, right? I don't see that happening. It's going to drop. It's going to have a corrective phase of its own. So, yeah. So that'll drop. So, Rod, I think I'll fall into that 20, 30 range. 40 would be great. 40 would be freaking phenomenal. Wouldn't you agree, Rod? Or what are you thinking for your account? Do you think that 20 to 40 is that too aggressive to live off of? Right? Because to live off of them, just for my peace of mind and to be able to sleep, I have to have defensive funds that will hold their share price because we're going to be pulling the dividends. I will not be reinvesting very much. If I want to be aggressive and just give the whole business to the kids, I'll pull like 80% and put 20% back in. Well, probably pull 60%. I forgot about taxes. So, yeah, I still got some building to do. I'm not ready yet. I'm a little behind the 8 ball. We had early on in the season, we had like 3 rainouts in a row, and that put us behind the 8 ball as far as our events. And some of those events didn't get made up. I wouldn't consider YMAG defensive, but Hog is much more aggressive than I am. For me, I would consider it middle of the road. I mean, it's not Nvidia, Coney, or Misty, but I mean, grand scheme of things, I don't know how defensive it is. We need more time. We need to see YMAG like go through a down period for a couple, 3 months, right? We need to see what it does and how it recovers off of a major dip with the capped upside, right? We need the dips we've gotten haven't proven enough if they are truly defensive yet. Now, If YMAX and YMAG truly become defensive funds, I will sell out of SPY T whenever I start building up. I'll sell out of FEPI. I'll sell out of anything and just boost those, right? But it's got to prove it to me. We need a sustained 2, 3, 4 month downturn and then wait for a recovery, I think. Because we haven't got a big enough dip for it to say it for me, for my own personal peace of mind. Now, you have to understand about Hog. Hog's much more aggressive than me. So my JEP Q of being very defensive is his YMAG, right? So that's how we are on that scale. We're a little different there. Music to motion. What's up, man? Yeah. I think as we get closer, Mike, if you got a family, I'm always thinking about my kids, my wife, my business, and how to protect them all the freaking time, right? Because I know bad things will happen. That's life. So I think as we get closer to retirement, to that being a real tangible thing, I think it only makes sense to be a little defensive, wouldn't you say? Or no? I mean, I do. I'm not that aggressive because I'm going to be living off the dividends. For me and peace of mind, I got to be more defensive. QDT and XDTE. I don't know, SoCal Steve. Let me show you this. I don't know if I can show you this. I've been watching the chart on these because I'm going to swing trade QDTE as well. I'm going to tell you why I think QDTE is better than trading a stock or option. I'll get into that in just a second. I think, dare I say, it's the holy grail of trading, QDTE. Let me tell you why. Let me pull up the chart here, which you can't see because it's on my phone. But, okay. Here's what we're seeing from QDTE, right? Okay, QDTE. Let me see the price here. Let me just go look at the Qs right quick to see if my assumption is correct on what I've been thinking. Yes. Okay. Whenever you get a chance, look at your QDTE chart, okay? And then pull up the Qs, right? Back to back and look at them. The Qs are at all-time highs. They have far surpassed their previous all-time high. QDTE 49.39 was its all-time high. We're at 46.17, right? That where we're at today? Something like that. NASDAQ ripped all new highs. QDTE hasn't even come close to their all-time high. Because, right, nothing wrong with it. We understand how these funds work, the weekly dividends. And here's what I think is going to happen with QDTE. When we go through a down period, the weekly dividends, right now we're okay because the Qs or whatever it's based off of keep going up. When QDTE goes, or the NASDAQ goes through a down period, the weekly dividend coming out. So it drops by that dividend, right? And then the market continues to drop, another weekly dividend drop. And then let's say we get a rally for 2-3 days during a down period, the weekly dividend drops it right back down. So no, I do not consider QDTE a defensive fund for that purpose. I can see what I think may happen to it during a down period. It'll be hard pressed. It'll have to be a sustained rally because if it just gets any kind of little rally, the weekly dividend will drop it right back down. Does that make sense? So that's why I do not consider QDTE a defensive fund. However, in saying that, I think QDTE is the holy grail of trading. And here's why. If you wait for a dip and buy QDTE, number one, it's cheaper than the Qs, right? So if you were to buy stock, buy the Qs, right? How much is that thing trading at today? What, 500? The Qs are at 5? Hold up. Okay, 497. The Qs are at 497. Okay? QDTE, what's it at? 46? Okay, so right there, it's way cheaper. So you can buy a ton of shares. Number two, it does catch share price appreciation. It actually does move up pretty good. Not like the underlying, but the best part about it is you get a dividend every week while you're holding it, while you're swing trading it. So not only are you going to collect dividends on a weekly basis, you're going to catch share price appreciation from trading it. And let's just say you have a level. It dips to a level. The Qs, QDGE, whatever, dips to a level. And you're like, okay, we're catching support. I'm going to go long here on QDTE and try to trade it. Well, and you're wrong, right? It happens to me all the freaking time, right? You pick a level and it breaks right through. You think it's support. You think, okay, we're going to go up from here. And the market says, no, you're an idiot. And it drops. Well, now you just traded or changed from a trader. Now you're a long-term holder. Still average down, still wait. And then when it does start going back up, then you'll catch a share price appreciation and the weekly dividend. I like trading QDTE more than anything right now because of the weekly dividends. FEPI, I love to trade because it gets really nice share price appreciation. But to maximize the trade, you need to collect the dividend as well, right? So you got to wait or time it with the dividend. QDTE, it comes out weekly, right? That's fantastic. I think QDTE is one of the better trading instruments available in the market right now. I've said it. I said it. I don't care. And I love options. And now I'm going to tell you why I think it's even better than options. Like I swing trade options all the time. Now, people on my Discord only know this. I never shared this anywhere else. I don't think. I know I definitely didn't make a video about it. I am shorting Amazon right now with puts. Yeah, that's right. I'm being idiot. Do not do this. Do not follow me. Please, dear God. This is extremely risky. Why? Because Amazon is uptrending. You never want to short against the trend. I'm breaking my number one rule of being a swing trader. I am shorting, but I have a method here. My risk reward is really good. 200 has been resistant so far for Amazon. I have a stop at 202.25-ish. So that's my stop. If it goes up to 202.25, I sell out and I lose. But I'm looking for a profit target of 195 to 190. And my average price on my short on the chart is about the 198 level. So my risk reward is really good. And so it's in this channel, Amazon, between 190 and 200. Now I'm hoping it drops back down to 190 and then collects more buyers and then rips up from there. Because my plan here is to short Amazon here at 200, take it down to 190, sell the short, 190-ish, sell the short, then go long at 190, and then ride it back up. So work the channel. That's what I'm attempting to do with Amazon. Please do not do this. I am an idiot. Okay? I am shorting an uptrending stock. Do not do it. Okay. So anyway, that leads to my discussion. Why is QDTE better than trading options? Well, number one, no theta decay. Absolutely none. So that right there gives it a huge advantage. Number two, the weekly dividends that you get from trading QDTE. Now, the only problem is you got to go long. You don't want to short QDTE, with stock, because then you got to pay the dividend, right? So do not short it with stock. So that's the only thing. I can only go long on QDTE. I think it's broken. I think QDTE is the best trading mechanism out there. Is this financial advice? Perhaps. Perhaps. Wait for QDTE to get to a level. Go long there with shares. If you want to put a stop loss, put stop loss. I will not. I just got to wait for a dip. When it gets to a dip, I'm going to buy a bunch. It's going to go up. I'm going to collect the weekly dividends in addition to share price appreciation, sell it. And what am I going to do with this free money? Back in the day, I was a trader. Well, I'm still a trader. We called it profits. Now we have to call it free money because it pisses all the haters off. So what am I going to do with all my free money? I'm building free positions with it. Anything profit is free. It's for, well, you got to pay tax. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to say this. You have to pay taxes on it. Okay, so despite that, it's free money. So that's another reason why I'm getting into trading more heavily, is because I can build these free positions. I want to do it while the market's hot and take advantage of it. Let me see here. Kathy Wood say Tesla going to 19. Perhaps. Hog Farmer, do you find Kathy Woods attractive? I want to know that, Hog, if you're still here. Does Kathy Woods tickle your fancy? Please let me know that. It's a very important question. Jimmy, welcome in, my friend. How are you? I was up to 44 people at one time. That's amazing. Oh, thank you guys for hitting the likes. I really appreciate that. I really do. That means a lot. Is it time to have a drink? In 5 minutes. I do not drink before 4 o'clock ever. I like beer. And I'm afraid if I don't care if I'm going to a football game. I don't care if I'm going to a baseball game. I don't care if I'm at a picnic. I personally never touch alcohol before 4 o'clock. That's my rule, ever. Because I'm afraid I would like it too much. And then who knows what would happen, right? So yeah, not doing that. But it's getting very close. How are you using JEPQ, JEPI, SCHD? I would not use them to feed anything. I would reinvest, Chad. I'm going to reinvest my defensive funds back into themselves until I need them. I use the high yield funds to benefit those, not the opposite way around. Favorite cigar? Oh. What is it? CAO? I like them. Romeo and Juliet. Romeo, is that it? Romeo and Julieta? Juliet? Those are my favorite. Hog Farmer said Amazon is coiling to blow 200. Probably, but can because I'm short on it. So could it please go down to 190 and collect more buyers and then shoot past 200? That would be great. Not I'll hit a stop loss. She is a lovely lady. Yeah. She is a lovely lady. Man, I own ARK. I've owned a lot of ARK for quite some time. That thing is hurting me. So Kathy Woods is not my favorite. I bought ARK 3 years ago, 2 years, something like that. And on its way, ripping up when she was a darling of Wall Street. I bought it on the rise up. It is well below my cost basis. So I'm bag holding like a big dog on ARKK. I over allocated. So Kathy Woods is not a friend of mine right now. I'm the best psychiatrist you've ever had. She got me. Yeah, she got me. Now I just hold this thing like an albatross, Steve-O, in my account. Yeah. She batted those brown eyes at me, told me that she knew what she was doing, that she was creative and finding stocks that had potential to run and jump that other people weren't looking at. The problem is, apparently, she sold me a bill of goods, Steve-O. And I bought it. And here I am. No, I ain't selling it. I'm just holding it. You don't like the Jimmy, you do not like my dollar store reading glasses. I can't believe it. I'm appalled. Are they women's? They could be. I bought them off the rack, bro, for like $2. I mean, the gold highlight. If these are women's glasses, the YouTubers are going to have a field day with me. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't. YouTube trolls? Probably not going to talk about it. Probably not going to talk about it. What's the point? Buy, borrow, die method. I kind of looked into it. I think, okay. Doesn't it mean like leaving assets, like not assets, but debt to your children? Could I be wrong on that, Mike? Michael? Mikey? I don't know which one to go by. My name is Mike as well. Everyone calls me Mike. My mother and wife call me Mikey. That's it. No one else. Yeah. Oh, and my best friend I've had since I was met him when I was 9 years old, and we're still friends. Matter of fact, we moved into the same neighborhood together, and we lived across the street from my best childhood friend. Ended up moving across the street from me too, and we lived together across the street from each other for about 10 years. That was incredible. We ran this cul-de-sac. We ran it, son. But he ended up having another kid and bought a bigger house, so and made more money. He retired from the fire department. So yeah, we ran the cul-de-sac. That's exactly what we did. Nobody came down this cul-de-sac without our permission. That's not true, but we did run it. We all knew each other. It's a small cul-de-sac. There's like 10 of us on it, and it's awesome. Okay, I am wrong. It means you buy assets, borrow against them. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. My information is wrong, Michael. I'm glad you were here to correct me. I thought it meant like leaving debt or something to my kids, and that is not what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I'm doing the opposite of that and giving them everything I have except for this account here. Yeah, Ron, I am with you. I think me and Ron maybe are the only ones in this world, in this high yield space, that don't use margin. I'd rather build my shares from profits for free. Oh, somebody's at my house. A couple of my kids are going to come over and have dinner tonight. Maybe they came over earlier. I don't know. I hear someone outside. I don't know. So that means I will be getting off here sooner than I thought. And plus it's 4:02. Yeah, it's almost time for a beer. The wife is gone. Yeah, I don't use margin. I don't use HELOC. I don't use credit cards. I don't use none of that stuff. I build up my shares for free through profits, are the ones I don't put my own money in. and let that go. I don't want more debt in my life. I need less debt in my life, not more. So yeah, not for me. Um, Jimmy says, been selling a few in the money at the money calls on Amara, making a few bucks in premium singles and doubles. That's right. That is the key to trading, Jimmy. Singles and doubles, not home runs, right? You're not going to hit home runs very often. Now, Jimmy, what are you doing with your profits, bro? Please telling me you're taking your profits and building free positions in a dividend fund. Please tell me that. Please tell me that's what you're doing with your profits. I don't care if it's a share at a time, bro. Build it up for free. In a process of selling calls. Any comments on Curve, ETF, QQQ? I need to see more of it. I'm not one to talk about them when they first come out. I'm not interested in Curve personally. Here's the deal. Is there a yield max? Okay, is there an ETF bubble coming with all these funds piling in? I think some are going to be left holding the bag, and maybe this is just the cynic in me, I reckon. I think some of these high yield funds are going to go out of business. I think there will only be so much money to go around at some point that are interested in these funds. I think this is a niche, guys. It's not everyone's interested in these funds, even though we think everyone is. Guys, we're a really, really small niche. Someone's going to be left holding the bag. Is that Curve? I don't think it's going to be Yield Max. I don't think it's going to be Roundhill or I don't know. Could it be Curve? Maybe. I need to see more from Curve, man. No, I'd rather have Feppy. I don't know why. I'd rather have Feppy. I like Feppy. Don't own it yet. Sold it for profits, took the profits, started building free positions. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Hey, we found another one here with no margin. Clifton. There's 3 of us. There are now 3 of us in a high yield community that don't use margin. Congrats. Just us. Robert, what message did you retract? Let me see. Buying and building up shares of high yield funds. Also built up a nice cash reserve for dips. Yes. Profit. When I get my profits, Jimmy, from trades, I put a portion of it in cash always, and then I put the majority of it while the market's running hot back into a fund to build up for free. So that's what I do with that. Yes. Oh, cash is a position, Jimmy. Don't let anyone tell you different. And I don't care how the market's ripping. I don't care if people tell me, Mike, you're losing opportunity costs. No, the vast majority of my money is in the market. I keep cash on the side because I've seen this before. And I know what happens when the music stops. Will it be a month, a year, 5 years? I don't freaking know. But I know I'm going to be ready when it happens. Mark, return on dividends. I did not know. I thought you used margin. I really did. I thought you were building it up using margin. All right. I didn't know that. Hog farmer no more. That fat old account isn't using margin hogs. I'm proud of you. Who said the hog business wasn't good? They don't know hog farmer. Chad's not using margin? Wow. Okay, there's more of us than I thought. I really thought the vast majority, and maybe it's because of the videos on YouTube and stuff. I really thought the vast majority, and maybe they still are, vast majority of people were using margin. Wow. A lot of people not using margin. Yes. Cash in your account for me helps me sleep, and it lets me know no matter what happens, I can always buy. And people say, okay, this is my last thing before I get out of here. And I want to say, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me make my last point here first. Thank you very much for watching. Retiring Dividends, thank you for pushing people here through all the time I've had this YouTube channel, man. I really appreciate you, because other YouTubers will say they're not using it for money, meaning YouTube. I am. I ain't gonna lie. I want to get paid, fools. I want YouTube to pay me now. It ain't much of nothing. I'm a capitalist pig. I'm a capitalist pig, right? And I want YouTube to pay me. Now, I have a slow tactic. I'm building my channel, taking my time, and building it the way I want to build it, talking about what I want to talk about. Whether that interests people or not, we'll find out in time. But yeah, I want to get paid off YouTube. I do not care. I like all these people say, I'm not trying to get subscribers. I'm not, nothing against anyone who says it. Maybe you're not. And people are like, I'm not trying to make money off YouTube. Okay. Well, I am, fool. So thank you, Retiring Dividends, for pushing people here. And yeah, I put commercials in this too. So if you catch a replay, please watch a commercial. So, yeah, I don't not care, man. This is going to be hopefully one of my streams of revenue when Christian and I retire. Now, my other YouTube channel, I got like membership groups, and I do mentorships and workshops and all that. That one does really, really well. This one will never reach that level, because what am I going to give you a workshop on? Like, I have no idea. No idea. So anyway, I digress. Thank you for sending people here, guys. I really appreciate you. So my last point about cash before I get out of here. People say that cash is not a position. People say that it's opportunity cost sitting on a portion of cash. Now, I think if you're sitting on a lot of cash, I think that holds true. But I think if you're, let's say 70-30, 70 in a market, 30 out. And if you have dividend funds where you can get money coming back monthly, maybe even 60-40, 40% cash, 60% in the market. I think that's any of those ratios are fine. I'm about 80-20. I'll probably be 75. I don't know, something like that. Okay. Yes, your cash isn't making money for you sitting now currently, or a very small amount, depending upon your brokerage, right? I get that. However, when it really shines and when the opportunity matters, you will have the cash. Whenever that time occurs, that's your opportunity. And you will have the money to take advantage of lower prices, more shares at lower prices, more dividends in the future, right? So, and it helps you sleep at night. If something was to go haywire, you have it there at your disposal to use whenever. And I'm always an advocate for keeping cash in your account, because I've seen what happens when you don't. And I don't want to ever do that again. I've already lived through it once. Years ago. It's never happened since, and it's never going to happen in the future. Right? Where I didn't have cash. I was 100% in the market. Market went down for quite a sustained period of time. I had nothing. I was very little I could put back into it. My shares bled. It took quite some time. I didn't have dividend funds at this time. It took quite some time for them to get back up. Good thing I wasn't, my bald head. Good thing it wasn't, I wasn't trying to live off growth at that time. I'd have been in big freaking trouble, because everything was below my cost basis. I'd have been selling shares for a loss time after time after time to live off of, right? That's why in my dividend account, it's all about dividends. I'm not trying to sell shares for a loss. Okay. I've been on for an hour, and am going to have a beverage. The wife is out of town. And I really think, yeah, you and me are the same, Jimmy. I shave my crap. Boy, with the electric razor. Me and you are the same, son. So anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you again, everyone. It means a lot that you watch this old man rambling about nonsense whenever I put out a video. I really appreciate you guys. And with that note, I'm out of here. I appreciate everyone, and I mean it. Thank you guys. See ya.